New this week from Boom Studios, Dune, House Corrino, issue number 1, written by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, art by Simone Ragazzoni. I apologize if you can hear the sound of my tea kettle heating up, but it's tea time, baby. Brian Herbert continues his amazing prequel series for Dune with this latest installment, set to focus on the House of the Shaddam Emperor. I haven't been keeping up with the Dune prequel graphic novel. Can you even really call yourself a Dune fan? Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson have spent the last few years adapting Brian Herbert's book House Atreides to graphic novel form. Several other spin-off and tie-in titles from Boom Studios. Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on. For example, one of my favorite stories is in this volume. It's The Whisper of Caladan Seas, which is a particularly artistic addition to Dune lore, which focuses on a group of Atreides soldiers who are trapped under the rubble of Arrakeen after the Sardaukar invasion, where one of the soldiers recounts a folklore tale from his childhood on Caladan. It's a really touching issue that gives a lot of emotional context to Dune, and it's just another proof of concept behind these prequel comics. What I've enjoyed most about these graphic novel adaptations, besides more Dune, is that the overarching narrative of the events before Dune has pervaded across titles, from House Atreides to House Harkonnen, and now culminating in House Corrino. It has been so rewarding to follow along with a young Leto Atreides as our primary protagonist, given that our time with him was cut so short in the original novel. Atreides! 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 Remember the fighters! But what is the focus of these prequel comics exactly? Well, the events of House Atreides see Leto and his fellow Prince Romber of the planet IX, or 9? I'm not sure how to say it. It's this. As they uncover the cult of the Tilazu, also not sure how to say this. The Tilazu are intent on radicalizing the workers of the technological development planet into a coup of the elite class. However, unbeknownst to Leto and Romber for a while, that is, the Tilazu's real mission is to develop synthetic spice, under the order of the Emperor, by the way, thereby eliminating the Imperium's reliance on spice as a fuel source, and thereby the governmental power of the Great House controlling Arrakis, aka the Harkonnens. I really love this layered subterfuge. It really adds to the emotional stakes and political maneuvering that makes the original Dune novels so beloved. We also get to see a lot more of the tragic backstory of Duncan Idaho as a slave of the Harkonnens, and gain more insight into the familial hierarchy and cruelty of the Harkonnens, all of which are meaningful additions to the original narrative that only Brian Herbert can deliver. Alright, let's dive into House Corrino now with some spoilers. House Corrino is a true sequel to all of the titles that have come before it, as we see the political maneuverings of the Harkonnens and the Emperor move ever closer to the original circumstances behind Dune. To begin, we see the potential inciting incident for the Emperor's distrust of the Harkonnen family, as Liet Kynes, the Herald of Arrakis, reports to the Emperor what he has learned from Stilgar, which is that the Harkonnens have been stockpiling secret stashes of spice to sell for profit. The Emperor is rightfully disturbed by this willful disobedience and calls upon his advisor, Count Fenring, the man he plotted the murder of his own father with years ago, to get a status report on the Tizalu artificial spice mission. Count Fenring reports that the artificial spice has been processed successfully, but, more distressingly, he has discovered that the Emperor has a half-brother somewhere out there in the universe. A brother that probably knows about the murder and can challenge the Emperor's rule. At the same time, we also see the gathering of the Tizalu leadership, where we see one of their own conspiring to sell the artificial spice for profit, much like the Harkonnens. We also check back in with Leto on Caladan as we learn that Lady Jessica is pregnant as the Bene Gesserit decreed. Romber, now a prince in exile, has recovered from his devastating wounds with android technology. And he looks fucking sick. I'm really curious as to what happens to him. He seems like he has such an intriguing human perspective that we could have used in Dune. It is then that Leto learns that the Tizalu are actually plotting on harvesting Atreides' DNA from a shrine to warriors on a distant planet, which is just like so fucked up and invasive. So Leto dispatches Duncan Idaho to intercept and kill these grave robbers. It's a lot of fast-paced, satisfying character-building moments for established Dune characters, and it's just a great recap of events as they stand in the Imperium for the uninitiated reader. If you consider yourself a part of the recent Dune mania, then why not support comics and jump into Dune House Corrino on shelves now? Love getting to spend more time on Caladan and learn more about the history and the people. I think I've been playing too much Baldur's Gate 3 because that's all these cult members remind me of. Love getting to see Duncan Idaho in action as well. And I can never get tired of horrifying betrayals and giant worms. Leave a comment and tell me who your favorite character is in the Dune universe. Let me know what other Dune novels you'd like to see get adapted into a graphic novel.